Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Today's episode is presented by Manscaped. If you want the best men's grooming products on the planet, and you should, to stay nice and tidy, go to manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. That'll get you 20% off plus free shipping. All right, so the schedule came out last night. Today, we're going to go ahead and do a record prediction video. So I'll go through the whole schedule game by game and give a win or loss prediction, and we'll see where we sit at the end of 17 games. Real quick, rapid fire to kind of break down the entire schedule off the top here. Week 1 against the 49ers at home before a road game on Sunday Night Football against the Packers. Week 3 against the Texans, then a road game against the Giants in Week 4. Road game against the Vikings in Week 5, and then a pair of primetime games, Thursday Night Football against the Commanders at home, and then at New England for Game 7 in Week 7. Week 8 at the Cowboys. Week 9 against the Dolphins at home, another home tilt with the Lions in Week 10. Week 11, a trip down to Atlanta, and then in Week 12, over to East Rutherford to face the Jets. Week 13, home tilt with Green Bay before that late Week 14 bye. Then it's a pair of home games against the Eagles and against the Buffalo Bills. That'll be a tough two-game stretch at home. And then Week 17 at Detroit, and Week 18 at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Before we get into my record predictions here week by week, will the Bears make the playoffs? Do you believe? And be honest when you vote. It's okay to vote no and say, hey, I think the Bears are rebuilding this year. This isn't going to be the year. But if you think they will, type Y for yes as well. Y for yes, N for no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So get your votes in during this YouTube ad break. All right, let's go game by game. And you know what? I saw the early point spread is 49ers, 6.5-point favorites at Soldier Field. I don't care. I think this is a tone-setting win to start the season. Get revenge on San Francisco for Justin Fields, who played pretty well in that game last year, to open up this new regime at home. I think they get a win. Trey Lance's first start. I think this Bears defense is going to be pretty solid this year. I think the Bears sneak one out in Week 1. Week 2 at Green Bay, as much as I would like to predict a win, I'll go loss. Primetime at Lambeau, Week 2. This team's going to take some time to figure things out, especially against better opponents. I'll say Green Bay wins that one. Week 3 at home against the Texans. I think out of all the games on the schedule, this might be the biggest must-win. You have got to beat the Houston Texans at home. You've got a better roster. I think you've got a better quarterback. Got to beat Houston. I think they win in Week 3. In Week 4, another thing when I look at schedules is what road games stand out as games that you can go and take, because you got to find a way to win on the road sometimes. Giants on the road, that's a young team. That's a new regime as well. Opportunity to win. And really the schedule lines up. At worst, you should start 2-2, but I think 3-1 is very much a real possibility. I have the Bears getting off to a pretty good start. We'll get to weeks 5 through 8 in a moment, but hey, we are almost at 48,000 subscribers. We're less than 300 away, 291 to be exact. Can we get there by the end of this weekend before I'm in on Monday? I'm challenging you guys, youtube.com/Bears Now. Let's get to 48,000 subs ASAP. Okay, Week 5 at the Vikings. I'll go loss. I kind of view Minnesota as an opportunity to split those games on the road in Week 5. That probably favors the Vikings. Week 6, come back home against the Commanders. Thursday Night Football. Home teams on Thursday Night Football typically fare pretty well. I'll take a win over Washington there. Week 7 at the Patriots. I'll go loss here. You split those primetime games back-to-back. I think Justin Fields is better than Mac Jones, but I think New England, they'll have some time to prepare and get a good defensive plan there. I'll favor them in a close one. Week 8 at Dallas. That team won 12 games last year. I know they didn't finish great, but that's going to be a tough road game back-to-back. If you could win one of those, that would be great. But a little 1-3 stretch here after a 3-1 start. Bears even up at 4-4 through 8 weeks. What's your favorite game on the schedule, home or away? Bills Christmas Eve is going to be pretty fun at Soldier Field. Maybe some snow in that one. That could be a fun one, even though Buffalo's damn good, and it's going to be hard for the Bears to win. But your favorite game on the schedule, I want to know from you guys right now down in the comment section. Now, we mentioned today's show is presented by Manscaped, and they have the best men's grooming products on the planet. We've told you about the Lawnmower 4.0 for a while. If you go ahead and have one of those, which you should, to keep things nice and trimmed down below, once you use your lawnmower to trim down below, get the Ultra Smooth package, which has been relaunched for just $31.99. It comes with a nice little crop shaver here, crop exfoliator, and crop gel. So what you do, you rub some exfoliator down there, then some gel, then you use this nice big razor that's going to limit razor burns and cuts. It's a real product. So after you use the Lawnmower 4.0, these products, it's going to finish the job, keeps things nice and smooth down below. It's a sensitive area. You want to use high-quality products, and that's what Manscaped has. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off plus free shipping for just $31.99 for this package. It's a great deal right now. Go check it out. Link in the comments and in the description, as is the promo code. Week 9 against the Dolphins at home. This is one I really went back and forth on. I'm not a Tua believer, but they really invested in that roster this offseason. Miami's damn good on both sides of the ball. If Tua's just decent, that's a team that should make the playoffs. Week 10 against the Lions at home. Got to beat Detroit at home. I think Detroit at home, Houston at home, those are two games you just absolutely have to win. Week 11 at the Falcons. Again, another road game against an inferior opponent. Got to win those games. I think they win that one, so a big back-to-back win stretch there. And then I think you actually have a chance to win 2 straight road games here. You beat the Jets on the road. You get back to 7-5. And you guys are saying, you might be saying in the comments, Harrison, you're crazy. This team won't start 7-5. Does the schedule seem that daunting so far? The first chunk and this chunk, not that crazy to say that you could win at least 5 or 6, maybe even 7 games the first 12 weeks. Week 13 against the Packers at home, this one was tough. Because I think a big goal for this Bears football team this year should be to beat the Packers. And I think they can. I think you'll have a chance in this game. But my way too early prediction is a loss. Things will change. We'll do this again before the season starts. For now, though, I'm giving it a loss for Chicago. But hey, if you hate the Packers as much as I do, if not more, type FGB in the comments. No one likes Green Bay. Got to beat the Packers at least once this year. I'm not predicting it right now, but you just have to find a way. Get the FGBs going right now in the comments section. So you got a Week 14 bye and then a Week 15 matchup against the Eagles at home. Kind of like the Miami game. It's a tough one. I'm not a huge Hurts believer, but they invested this offseason too. I'll go Philadelphia winning that game, so back-to-back losses get you to 7-7. So look, you're in the mix heading into the final 3 weeks, and I think if you're a Bears fan, that's all you can ask for. At 7-7, you'd still be alive in the playoff hunt. But then you come home again for Week 16. Packers, Eagles, and Bills, that's a tough 3-game home stretch. Got to find a way to win one of those, you would think. I'm not going to predict them to beat the Bills right now, though. That might be the best roster in the NFL on Christmas Eve. Week 17 at Detroit, you get back on track, get to 8-8 with a win. And then you come home to face Minnesota, and I think you split with the Vikings. Listen, I don't think this Vikings team is incredibly daunting. I think their overall roster is better than the Bears, but I think Chicago could beat them at home in a January game with bad weather. I don't think that's daunting. 9-8 final record, if you think it's outrageous, okay. I mean, I think this is anywhere from a 6 to a 10-win team. That's how I view it based on the schedule and based on where they sit right now. This schedule is not daunting on paper. Now, we'll see how some of these teams play this year, but based on opponents' win percentage from a year ago, it's the second easiest schedule. You have 9 home games. Some of the road games you have are pretty manageable ones, like Atlanta, the Jets, and the Giants. Those are 3 very winnable games. I'm not saying they're going to win 9-10 games and make the playoffs. I'm not saying it either, though, guys. Like, this team won 6 games last year on a way harder schedule. They should have beat the Ravens and the Steelers. They just let those games slip away. They could have beat San Francisco. That would have been 8 or 9 wins last year, and this team sucked last year. So I think it's very much a possibility that this team could win 8 or 9 games. It's early. We'll see how things shake out, but I'm optimistic based on this schedule. Predict the Bears' record this season. My way too early record is 9-8, and I am viable to change my mind, and I probably will as we get closer to the season. But I've made the Eagles analogy a lot for this team this year. Maybe they can overachieve in year 1 with this new regime, get to 9-8, and then next year you really strike to be a contender. So predict the Bears' record this season. I want to hear it from you guys right now. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Bears Now by Chat Sports. Appreciate you guys for tuning into this video. We'll have more videos over the weekend, so subscribe. Join us for that, youtube.com/Bears Now. Remember, less than 300 subs away from 48,000. Can we get there? I'm challenging you guys. Free videos every day. We'll keep it up this offseason.